Today we are together with the country director of World Bank in Turkey, Johannes. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
To discuss
Happy to be here.
The issues. First, we would like to get some brief information about the World Bank and your activities, mission and vision around the globe.
Well, the World Bank, as you know, the World Bank Group, as you know, is an international financial institution, the oldest large development international financial institution in the world. Our mission has two parts. The first part is to reduce poverty to 3% by the year 2030. And the second one is to enhance the prosperity of the poorest 40% of the world's population. These two goals are obviously very important. Global poverty is still a significant phenomenon, although over the last 40 years there's been tremendous poverty reduction. In fact, the world has made more progress on poverty reduction in the last 40 years and at a faster pace than probably in the last 200, which is a remarkable achievement. But at the same time, there are still many people who have escaped poverty but are living just above the poverty line. And so it's also important for us to look at how the poorer part of the population is doing, and that's why we also have a target aiming to help the poorer 40% of the population to increase their welfare and their livelihoods.
When did World Bank start its activities in Turkey, and what is the main mission for the bank to be in Turkey?
So Turkey has been a member of the World Bank Group since 1947. The first loan to Turkey made by the World Bank Group was made in 1952, and we opened a country office here in Ankara in 1986. So we've been an established presence in Turkey for a considerable period of time.
And how do you see that World Bank is contributing to the development of Turkey?
Well, today we are active in quite a number of different sectors. Our largest sector is the energy sector. We were engaged in the electricity subsector for a number of years. We helped liberalize that sector, and as part of that process, not only helped create some of the key electricity utilities and modernize them, but we also modernized the electricity infrastructure in a lot of the country. This includes transmission lines, distribution lines, substations, also all the technology around managing the grid in a way that ensures that power supply is reliable, that the systems operate efficiently, and that prices to the consumer are as low as possible. So that's been a very large part of our focus. Increasingly, over the last few years, we've been focusing more attention on the gas sector, which, as you know, is very, very important for Turkey. Most power in Turkey is actually generated through burning natural gas, but Turkey at the moment has fairly limited storage capacity. So one of the things we're doing is helping expand that storage capacity, particularly with facilities around Tuzgolu. We are also a financier of the Trans-Anatolian gas pipeline project. We put in $400 million as a loan to BOTAŞ, but also $400 million to SGC, which is an Azeri company that's part of the TANAP consortium. And MIGA, the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, is guaranteeing up to $1.2 billion of private sector loans for that project. And through the work that the World Bank has done, we've also brought in a number of other international financial institutions to help finance the Trans-Anatolian pipeline. So energy remains a very, very large focus, but we're also involved in other sectors. An example, a fairly recent example, we did a review of the impact of the customs union with the European Union, which of course, as I'm sure you're aware, has been a tremendous driver of the growth of manufacturing in Turkey. In fact, if you look at why Turkey has done well economically over the last 15 years, the key explanation is the very large percentage of Turkish workers that left the agriculture sector and moved into manufacturing. And they were able to move into manufacturing because the customs union made it possible for Turkish businesses to integrate themselves into European value chains, particularly in things like automobile assembly and white goods production. So that's another major area of focus for us. And then finally, we're doing quite a bit of work with different municipalities in the country, helping them to do a better job of planning the needs of the municipality over the medium and long term, and then identifying and financing very specific investments in things like water supply, wastewater treatment, waste collection, urban transportation, and so forth. While we are only working in a few municipalities at any given period in time, often almost always with Illerbank, the experience that we are gathering from that work and the experiences of those municipalities are helping to improve how many other municipalities across Turkey are addressing those critical issues.